Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm showing you guys the process of my April spreads. This month I decided to do a theme of cats and sushi. And as spring begins, I wanted to add some cherry blossoms here and there as an accent to really bring the spring feel all together. I came across this theme because I realized I never did a sushi theme before, but I didn't want to do just sushi. So I tried to find a complementing concept to go with it and what goes well with fish and cats. So I thought it would be a really cute idea if the cats ate and made sushi. Plus, I happen to really like drawing the cute cats. So the way I start my process is to pencil in everything. I'm not quite there yet where I can just pick up a pen and just draw. I have to sketch and then resketch because I'm very indecisive. After that, that's when I would start inking everything, and that's actually my favorite part of the process, where the finishing product looks really nice and clean before the coloring. When I do start coloring, the process takes like twice or maybe even 3 times as long because of how indecisive I am with my color choices. For instance, with that big April title, I now wish I had colored that in light blue. It's a really bad habit of mine that I'm trying to break, but I'm still pretty happy about the ending result. This quote page is actually one of the favorites that I have made, mostly because of how fitting the words are. These are lyrics from an English cover of Your Lie April's anime opening by Lian Lai, which I'll add in the description below. And it's one of the few songs in my life that I can sing word for word for. The anime was one of the first ones I ever watched, and I remember bawling my eyes out when I finished. A few years later, I found this English cover that I couldn't stop listening to. It's such a perfect personification of spring with its still own touch of bittersweetness. And if you can't tell, that cat is supposed to be squished up against the page. Comment down below your thoughts on the anime if you watched it. If you haven't, then comment a movie or a TV show that just screams springtime for you. Next, we have my monthly calendar outlook. Since I'm fresh out of school and not really doing anything that requires deadlines or big events, I decided to keep the calendar pretty small and leave it at 1 page, with important notes and whatnots on the other page. April is actually the month of my mom's birthday, so I guess my main task right now would be figuring out what to get her as a gift. But before graduating, April has always been a pretty monotonous month for me since it's pretty much that dead month between spring break and summer. I remember doing nothing but schoolwork and exams that month. Now that that's all behind me, I'm pretty excited for what this month got in store for me, and making this pretty aesthetic layout makes me even more excited. Somehow doing all of this makes me feel like I have a pretty eventful life, even when I really don't. Now I have my layout spread. This is the spread that I tried to create last month for March, but never got around to starting on the designs for it. Now that I'm finally making one, I'm excited about how it will look at the end of the month. I see this as just a different way of doing my one line a day spread, but in a more open and spacious way. The one thing I am scared of though is that most of these boxes will be filled with like sleeping or binge watch a whole anime or something that just doesn't sound as exciting. But I think that's okay. It's good to have nice and simple days to take some time to yourself. After graduating, I definitely have a lot of those days. have my social media planning. After adding YouTube to my list of accounts to manage, having layouts like these made it so much easier on my workload, particularly my left page. That page is dedicated solely to my Instagram. I like to plan out the whole month of content, including general look of each post, to make sure my feed still looks all cohesive. Planning out my Instagram posts for the whole month really took the pressure off of that platform and let me focus on the others, like the TikToks, the Instagram Reels, and stuff like that, especially for YouTube. I try to keep myself disciplined with the posting schedule, so for YouTube, I wanted to start off my first month with a post each week. But now that I got into the intro stuff out of the way and starting to get used to the process of recording and editing, I'm thinking of giving myself more time and posting only once or twice a month. With that being said, I'm still open to ideas and suggestions of the kinds of videos you still want to hear from me, so just comment down below if you still have some for me. The last spread I'm making is my fitness tracker and my playlist. You may have noticed that I didn't make a separate habit and mood tracker for this month, and that's because I decided to implement those into each of my weeklies. I thought I would try something new and feel that it would just be easier to track because I automatically open my journal to my certain weekly more often than the other monthly trackers. So for my fitness tracker, this layout started being really useful for me when I started working out more and more often. I use it to track which part of my body I worked out that day and for how long. Then there's also a chart at the bottom half that will track my weight loss. Although right now I'm not really focusing on that number and more focused on doing it because it feels good for me and it just makes me feel good about myself. So I'm not really sure how that chart will look by the end of the month, but we'll see. now let's give you guys the last flip through of what I got so far for April. I'm actually pretty happy with the way everything turned out, and I managed to keep everything pretty consistent and cohesive. Hope you guys enjoyed my first plan with me video, as this was definitely super fun to make and show for you guys. Definitely plan on making more of these, so if you liked watching it, please like and subscribe below, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye!